coming to you on Christmas Day. And I'm doing a little drive through the hills of North Alabama. I just got off of one of these mountains up here. And I didn't want to do the video going down it because I knew it would be driving through the trees. I figured it'd be very pixelated. It'd been a great view, but I figured it'd been extremely pixelated. And I was pretty busy dealing with all the switchbacks going down the mountain I was on. So it was a pretty good altitude. It's a pretty view. But I thought y'all wouldn't like all the switchbacks I was having to deal with. So I'm about to take off here. I pulled over at a Dollar General to start the video. I'm gonna take a phone call from a future person will be working with me in Arizona when I get that place set up. So I don't get too many of these ashes on my white pants. So we're gonna take a drive and hope it's not too pixelated. That's one of the problems I got in this area. And I think it's got more to do with the trees than anything. The mountains might affect it. I don't know. And it might drop out. The last time I tried this, Christmas bombing took out my video. So hopefully, or took out all the cell phone service. I see I'm live now, so I know I got service. I just got off the phone. So here we are. There's Joe's Pizza. Oh gosh, that was there in the 80s, back when I lived up in this area. Ahead is Kill Mountain. You don't look like much in the view screen here, but just looking at my eyeballs, it looks pretty good. See, it takes up a lot more on my screen, so I pull the camera back to where I'm at, and you see it looks bigger. When I hold the camera forward, it looks smaller. It's kind of funny, right? My knot hole, that looks pretty big. You see as I pull the camera back. There's Paint Rock River, just crossed. Yeah, I got that window taped up. This van is still, it's a work project. It's got a lot of work to be done on it. Kill Mountain's probably about, I don't know, might be 1,500 foot high. I don't know what the elevation of Kill Mountain is. That's the one that's in front of me right there. I just come off Woodville Mountain. And I would have liked to shot a video coming down it, but I figured it'd been extremely pixelated and dropping out constantly because of all the trees. Just being right there next to the mountain, driving all the switchbacks would have been pretty complicated to hold the phone too. At least I'm kind of in the wide open here right now, so it makes it work kind of easy. But I want to show y'all this house. Hey, how's it going there? Sure, I'm going to put the sunglasses off on me right now. There we go. Susie Q, how you doing? Yes, in favor of you all. Thank you, thank you. So you can see it right there. That's the Kill Mountain. There's a lot of people live up on Kill Mountain there. Now, the mountain I came off of, I just drove down from, has a lot of there, let's see if I can cut some of this racket down. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of road racket. Sorry about that, guys. They won't be so bad when I slow down some. If it's too bad, just tell me. If I get a lot of pixelation, tell me that too. This phone seems to be better than the other one I was doing. But, you know, I can only do what the phone will allow me to do, guys. That's it. BRB, how you doing, Granny? I don't want to fall over that, do I? Got a cigar there. It's called a Philly Titan. It's not a fancy cigar. They're big, but they're not fancy. They're big. They're the big cheap cigars. There's some nice farms back in there. My brother, he passed away. His wife, or ex-wife now, just wanted to have me over. She's living with her, I guess, husband-to-be. They're engaged. And, you know, I used to go to my brother's a lot, so she invited me over. This is a town called Paint Rock. Paint Rock River, okay. Yeah, we're about to go up, we're about to turn up the Paint Rock Valley. Trailer park back up in there. We're gonna go up the Paint Rock Valley here in a minute. And I've showed y'all from maps and Google Earth and stuff like that the place I lived up here one time. I think we'll just take a little tour back up that way. I left my ex-sister-in-law's a little early. My neck was killing me for some reason. It's got a little better now. She put some ointment on it to help some. My neck was really sore. Here, Allison Wholesale. There's a lot of Allisons in this area. Allison, they used to be an Allison Candy Company. I think they're distant related to me because they probably all came out of Northwest Georgia. The Allisons they were the first family to settle among the Cherokee Indians. They went there and bought the land from the Cherokee and lived among the Cherokee, made a decent passport in Northwest Georgia. Area. It was like a caravan of Allisons that went in there together. And they split up and moved around. So I said, all right, we're about to go up State Road 65 into Paint Rock Valley. And I used to live up here back in, I believe about 87, 89. No, 87, 88. Maybe that was the years I was living up here. Excuse me. So, Paint Rock Valley's got the Paint Rock River running through it. It's called Paint Rock because there's flint rocks natural around up in this valley, and the natives used to take them and make their arrowheads out of them. And they would trade that flint all over the countryside. So they had a real trade. I mean, there's fields out here. They're just full of chips. So some of the Indians might have actually not just traded rock. They might have made the tips and then the spear tips and the arrowheads and trade the full arrowheads and spear tips with other people. I don't know. But there's areas where you just find just full of flakes where they chip rock. And one area is a place called Guess Creek particularly. Now the local rock around here is mostly limestone. But up on Woodville Mountain where I was, it was sandstone on top, and the mountain I grew up on, Sand Mountain, was sandstone on top. So there's some mountains around here that got sandstone tops, some don't. Miller Farm. Oh, there was a brick house back up there at one time. I wonder what happened to it. Maybe it burned down or something. Now look up here, guys. Beautiful valley around here. Merry Christmas to everybody. Ho, ho, ho. I got my Santa hat over in the other seat, but I didn't want to wear it driving, smoking a cigarette because I don't want to stink my Santa hat up with cigar smoke. But I do have on a red shirt. Just didn't want to stink my Santa hat up, guys. This is a beautiful area up in here. This is remote. This is one of the most sparsely settled areas in North Alabama. So if you're new to my channel, you're going, what's this all about? Some people don't like it when I do these streams. I get people unsubscribing. A lot of my viewers tell me they like this. They tell me that these videos are relaxing and it helps them out. And I put enough high tension videos in here where I talk about what's going on in the world, the stress, especially the military situations, the stress we have here at home. Yeah, we're in a pickle in the world, but you know, sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses, guys. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. Sometimes it gives you a little perspective to do this, take a nature bath, walk out in the forest, or even just a country drive can help out. It can help your mental well-being and help you adjust to the craziness going on around us, give you perspective, because Mother Nature is still here. Now, if we had a nuclear war, we would definitely wreck Mother Nature pretty badly, but she would come back. Mother Nature always comes back in some fashion. It may take a while, but it would come back. Look out there. screen don't really do justice to what I see in my eyes. These mountains look bigger than my eyes. When I'm looking at the screen, they don't look that big. A little traffic around here. Christmas spring eggs. All right. I can't really read all the names, what y'all were saying, but I can see some of the messages. I'll just glance at them. Ah, now that's Arnold Smith when I see Rocket Man. Merry Christmas, Arnold. Merry Christmas, Arnold Smith. Coming to a town called Trenton shortly. Well, it's not really a town. All right, that old store was active when I lived up here. That was an active store. It was old, but it was open. There's some kind of little business run out of it back in the day. You find a lot of old style farmhouses up here and newer buildings too. This valley's been settled since, I believe people moved in here in the late 1700s. And pretty much a lot of the families that moved into this valley, their descendants are still here. There've been a few, a lot of them moved out, and there's been a few other people moved in. One of the ladies I've worked with for decades, off and on, got her the job she's got now, actually. Her aunt and uncle owned the house I used to live in. But I met her after that. There's a swimming pool. It's a nice pool. So you see mix a lot of things up here in this valley. Some people up here got a lot of money, and some of them couldn't afford a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out. Kind of a mix of all that. Greenscape Contractors, sod farm. Okay. Used to be a dairy farm up here. People up here, ain't got a whole lot. Except they got community. There's a fancy home right there, right? There's a few houses up here that were log houses that they built over. There used to be a remnant right here on this hill of a log barn, or some kind of log building. It was right there, and it's gone now. I don't know what they did with it, but there was remnants of a log building right there when I lived up here. Dairy farm at one time. I think we're raising beef cattle here now. That's all beef cattle. Old Herefords. Old Herefords. That's what we raise most of. Hey, look at an old truck. I like that. It's like an old Ford. I'll tell y'all the tale of the moonshiner who built the house I used to live in. I promised I'd do that to y'all for y'all one day. So I guess today will be the day to tell the tale. I lived in this house. The guy's last name was Carden. I can't tell you his first name anymore. I rented the house from his wife. He was passed on. That little house burnt down. Barn there. Trailer. So, Mr. Carden was a moonshiner. Built the house I lived in. And he built it up on a hill so he could defend it. And he built a basement in it with tiny little windows, I guess so he could shoot out of them. So his basement was like a foxhole. And the time came, he actually used it. Now, the sheriff tried to stop him up here before. One time they put boards across between the rungs in a bridge, thought they'd stop him on the bridge, and he ran through them. I think he ran through the cars a time or two. They tried to stop him a few times, and he'd get away, so they finally decided they was going to get him in his house. And I'll tell you that when we get up there in a little bit. We're almost there. This is the big city of Trenton, Alabama, coming up here. Used to have a post office when I lived here, but they closed the post office down. It's directly straight ahead. That building right there was the post office. Right there. One time that was a post office. This old couple lived there called the Vandevers. That old building's about to cave in. This is the big city of Trenton. That old barn's about had it. Old guy used to live up in that house. That house is still there, still lived in. As that guy's long passed away. I was there when I was here. Because I was here in the late 80s, so, you know, that's been, 30 years ago. Plus a little bit. About 33 years ago. I lived back up in this area. I was working for, I was going to college at UAH studying electrical engineering, and I was co-oping for this, on the ARIS project office, which is Exo-Atmospheric Reentry Interceptor Subsystems, Army Space Program. So I love this house right here. This house has 2 front porches, and those posts are cedar. They painted over them. Those are cedar posts. You can tell by the knobs on them. Next stop is the house I used to live in. So I got to finish the tale here in a minute. The tale of the Cardin Moonshiner. So I should wait till I get there so I can show you. We're almost there. In that house, you can't see any other house. It's one of the things I liked about living there. Had a nice view. Problem was, nobody else could see you too, and if you weren't going to be around the local meth heads or whatever they had back in the day, would break in on you, steal your stuff. Next house up on the left. That's where I used to live. How's the video? Is it badly pixelated? I'm going through a lot of trees here. Hope it's not too bad. I'm talking to my sis. All right. That was the barn. There, somebody's living there. That was a chicken house, chicken coop. And there's that house. Now, they got a light on that basement. You see that basement on that little narrow windows underneath there? This is the site of what was the last big gun battle, I guess, in this county. This guy ran off the sheriff right here, guys, right there. He was in that basement. He had a shotgun. His wife was feeding him ammo, and the sheriff's cars all lined up on this road where I'm at. They were trying to get up that hill, and he shot their cars all to pieces. And they retreated. They left. And sure enough, he was out of that basement. Let's see, right there, those windows right there was where he was at. And there's a car about to be behind me shortly. I have to go. Well, look there. They put concrete in there. There wasn't no concrete when I was here. Wow, they cleaned it up, made it fancy. I'll tell about that field there when we come back. So, the river's just right on the other side of that field there, Paint Rock River. We'll go up the road here a little ways. So, he shot their cars up, and they couldn't make an advance on him because he had covered his basement. I guess he had plenty of ammo, so they just gave up and left. There's no abandoned house. That wasn't even lived in when I was here. Somebody's out there looking for stuff. All that. Now, there's a house up there. Been long abandoned. Hope the video don't drop out here. This is called Rocky Hollow through here. Kind of curvy. And I used to fly up and down through here. I'm driving Vanna White today. Somebody's got him a fjord across the river back over there. Yow. Better watch it here. See the river down there or not? Maybe not. We'll get to the point we can. Hope it's not too pixelated now. I mean, amongst all these trees, it's liable to be, because I've noticed that's when my videos are most pixelated. It's when I'm driving through a bunch of trees. I know the voice carries. All right, let's see here. River's right there. That's the Paint Rock River right down there. Paint Rock River. There's a little landing. You can get in there and put a boat in if you wanted to. It ain't that deep though. It's got oysters in it. It's got a natural mussel that makes an oyster pearl. The pearls that are come out of the rivers of here are multicolored. They're not white like you get out of. So they're There's a natural oyster or mussel that lives in these rivers here in North Alabama that makes a pearl. That makes pearls that are different colors. If you could somehow farm those and commercialize them, you could probably make a fortune on them. I think one or two people tried. I don't know what luck they ever had at it. I'll need to pull over at some point and let this vehicle behind me out. Yeah, this is a real hilly, curvy road here. Not as hilly as what I smell a skunk. Not as hilly as what I just came down, coming off of Woodville Mountain. Oh yeah, the mountain behind me, there's a mountain behind me. You really can't see it because we're at the base of it. It's 1,700 feet high. You know, that's not, for North Alabama, that's pretty good. You know, it's not Rocky Mountains. Definitely not Alaska. This community up here is called Holly Tree. I think they still have a post office, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna pull over to the church and let this car behind me out. Pass me. Right there, I guess. Hell, I don't know. A lot of people up here at the church. It's going to be a good place to pull over, right? I'll let this car, the vehicle behind me, and I don't want to be slowing them down. Turn around up here. Yeah, we can get her in this church parking lot. Just turn around here. That guy. Don't have me behind him. That barn down there, it belonged to the family, the girl I was telling y'all about. She lived in the house behind this church. Some families using the community center there today. They're having a Christmas shindig, I guess. What my family used to do on Christmases. And wise man shall seek him. There you go, guys. Let's go some more. Let's go some more. Waving at me, man, in overalls all the way back. People up here are friendly, they'll wave at you. That's the way it is out in the country, guys. People out in the country be friendly. Got Granny Landa's mug here. I poured coffee at this morning, it's still hot. Space Force mug. So Granny, yeah, I am using it. That was a brand new store when I lived up here. They built that thing. I think they built that after I moved here, but it's looking old already. I thought about renting, I believe it was that house. No, it was another house that used to be back there. It's gone. There's a post office. Well, it was. So somebody may be living in it now. That was the Holly Tree post office. There's the feeding mill. My truck burned up. That's the local feeding mill. Drive up to Princeton and turn around. I could go up to Tennessee, but the valley gets narrow and there'll be some